At the beginning of the drama, a fire has broken out in a jungle, and this news is being shown on every channel. Then we see Sun-mi, who is going to school. As soon as she reaches school, all the students tease her by calling her a ghost. When she reaches her desk, she also finds written there, "This school is for humans, not for ghosts." Then, a teacher comes into the class and asks everyone to stand up, but only Sun-mi stands. Seeing her, all the students say, "What is she doing?" Actually, no teacher had come there. She was a ghost that only Sun-mi could see. As soon as that ghost comes near Sun-mi immediately opens her umbrella. The rest of the children, seeing this, run away from there out of fear. After this, when Sun-mi is going home from school, the same spirit follows her and says, "Come on, let's study together." When Sun-mi refuses, that spirit starts to bother her. Just then, a man comes who has a different kind of umbrella in his hand. When he opens the umbrella, that spirit disappears. That man's name is Wang. Sun-mi asks him, "How did you do that?" Wang smiles and shows the same trick again. When Sun-mi tries with her, nothing happens. Wang says, "I am a fairy. I was looking for a special human like you. I need your help." Sun-mi says, "I will help, but in return, I want your umbrella." Wang agrees to this. Then he brings her to a place, shows her a path and says, "You will find a small house ahead. Princess Iron Fan's fan is there. You know a fire has been raging in the jungle for a week, and I need that fan to extinguish that fire. If you bring the fan, this umbrella is yours." As Sun-mi starts to leave, Wang tells her, "If you see or hear anything strange there, ignore it and quickly come back with the fan." Then Sun-mi follows that path. Ahead, she sees that house. This house is not visible to normal people. Only special people can see it. Sun-mi goes inside that house and finds that fan there. She picks up the fan and starts to go back. Just then, she feels someone is there, so she comes down to see. Then a boy appears in front of her. Sun-mi gets scared seeing him. Sun-mi, remembering Wang's words, remains silent and ignores him. He lifts her up and says, "One doesn't go to someone's house empty-handed. You should have brought some gift." When Sun-mi says nothing, he speaks, "Humans can neither see me nor hear me," and puts her down. Then as Sun-mi starts to leave, he drops her umbrella and says, as soon as Sun-mi picks up the umbrella, he smiles and while smiling says, "You can hear me. A fairy asked me to bring a fan. Did you make a deal with him?" Sun-mi answers in the affirmative. So he says, "When you leave here, spirits will attack you. Come with me." Then, while going forward, he says, "Extinguish all the candles." When Sun-mi starts extinguishing the candles, seeing this, Sun-mi comes to him and says, "Can't you extinguish them? Will I have to do this work too? If you extinguish the candles, then I can go out from here." Sun-mi says, "Won't doing this be dangerous?" He denies it and explains, "The 5 candles on Marble Mountain have imprisoned me. Only if you get me out of here can I protect you." Sun-mi asks him to make a deal. He asks for her condition. Sun-mi says, "I see spirits, so you have to protect me from them." Sun-mi asks his name, so he tells her, "Whenever you are in any problem, take my name. I will immediately come to you and protect you." Their contract is made. After this, Sun-mi extinguishes the candles, so Kong is released. Then, that house also disappears, and Kong's entire look also changes, and he comes out and is very happy. "Thank you" to Sun-mi, and starts to leave. Sun-mi says, "You have to protect me." Kong removes her hand and asks, "What kind of people are kept locked up?" Kong says, "I was also imprisoned for the same reason, because I am very bad." Sun-mi asks, "Will you not follow the contract?" Kong says, "We never break contracts made with humans. You will have to take my name. Only then can I protect you. Do you remember my name?" Sun-mi is about to take his name, but Kong makes her forget it and removes the memory of his name from her mind and blows it into the air. Sun-mi calls him bad. Kong says, "I already told you that I am bad, and there is more bad news. The one who released me will also get punishment, and now you get ready for the punishment." Then he takes the fan out of his pocket. Sun-mi tries to stop him, but Kong says, "I am not a fairy. Bye." He leaves. Sun-mi tries to remember his name, but she cannot remember his name. We are shown a scene from 25 years later, where Sun-mi has now opened her own property dealing company, of which she is the CEO, and she still keeps that same umbrella with her. Her assistant Hanju is with her. Sun-mi comes to see a property and asks Hanju, "How many people are here?" Hanju says, Sunmi counts the shoes and sees shoes belonging to 6 people. That's why these people are selling this place so cheaply. The property owners say, "There is no problem with this building." Sunmi takes that building and sends everyone out staying there herself. So Sunmi catches it. She ties it up and feeds it food. Hanju watches all this secretly and says, "What is she doing? As soon as my contract ends next year, I will leave this job." On the other side, we see Wong, who has now become a judge on a singing show. During the show, the other 2 judges reject a singer, but Wong passes her. The singer was good, so the audience also becomes happy. The showmakers are happy with Wong's work. Because of Wang, the show's rating was running high. Then Wang is in the office and tells his secretary, "I am going to become the god of diamonds very soon." Then his secretary tells him, "The other 2 judges were bad-mouthing you. Or will you eat them?" Wang says, "To become a god, killing anyone is forbidden. I have waited for 1,000 years. Now I cannot create any problem." To this, the secretary says, "The one who is living with you is creating problems. He drove the car at high speed. Here are his fines." Then we see that high-speed car, which stops in front of a house from which Kong comes out. This family had called a father to drive away spirits, so Kong goes there as a father. When he goes inside the house, things start falling out of the window. Those people tell Kong, "Our son is behaving strangely. He starts floating in the air while sleeping." Kong goes inside to the child, come out of the child's body, but the spirit refuses. Kong says, "To bring you out, I will have to break the thing you are hiding in. You broke the rules of the heaven world. That's why you were imprisoned." Kong says, "That's why I am collecting good points, by driving away bad spirits like you." Then Kong starts breaking all the things. As soon as he is about to break a doll, the spirit says, "I will go somewhere else from here." Kong refuses and is about to break the doll when the spirit reveals, "I have seen Sam Jang. You will become the most powerful." Kong asks, "Is Sam Jang really in this world?" The spirit shows its hand, which has bite marks, and says, "I have left similar marks on her body. If you leave me," while Kong is talking to the spirit, the doll behind him moves to hit him. But Kong strikes it first and says, "Nice shot." The spirit immediately disappears. Then Kong comes out and says, "Then the real father also arrives there. Which area are you from?" "I am directly from there." Saying this, he takes his coat and leaves. After this, Kong comes to the ice god and says, "Your business is not doing well. Don't worry about me. You think about how you will go back to heaven. Today you caught a doll. Maybe you will get a promotion from this." Kong says, "This time, the ban on drinking in heaven will also be lifted. I have saved 2,983 bottles." The ice god says, "I hope you can go back to heaven when you have 3,000 bottles." Because of the ice god, a problem had been created earlier, so the ice god was also sent to live with humans. Kong asks him about Sam Jang. The ice god says, "Sam Jang's blood smells like a lotus flower. I've only heard about her, never seen her." Kong says, "As soon as I find her, I will eat her." At night, Wong comes to his house. The watchman gives him a flower pot and says, Wang says, "Tell him to come and get it himself. I called, but he is not picking up the call, so you take it." Wong says, "He has been bothering me. I will kill him one day." Then coming inside, Wang sees that Kong has put his coat on his statue. He picks up the coat and goes to Kong, who is watching TV. Wang angrily says, "Why don't you keep your clothes in your room?" Kong says, "I am watching your show. It's a very good show." Wang asks, "When are you going back to heaven?" Kong replies, "I have been called tomorrow. You were the one who saved me from Marble Mountain." Wang says, "I didn't want it to happen like that. It all happened by mistake, and taking responsibility for this mistake, I have kept you in my house." Saying this, he leaves. Maybe his mood is bad. He is saying this. Kong meets Subo Ri and asks him, "When will I go to heaven?" Subo Ri says, "Your performance is fine, but the reviews are not good. You hurt humans while driving away spirits." Kong says angrily, "I knew you wouldn't send me back to heaven. Now I will not do any good work. I will become powerful by eating Sam Jang." Subo Ri says, "There is no Sam Jang." Kong says, "I know Sam Jang exists." Subo Ri explains, "If you eat Sam Jang, you will never be able to go to heaven." Kong says, "I will find her and eat her." Saying this, he leaves from there. Subo Ri comes to Wang and tells him everything. Is Sam Jang really in this world? Subal-ri says yes. She is the one who released Kong. Wang is shocked to hear this. Sun-mi had received punishment for releasing Kong, and it was that she had to fight evil spirits and drive them away. Sun-mi goes to the family whose son Kong had saved from an evil spirit. That family had called Sun-mi to sell the house, but now their son has recovered, so they refuse to sell the house. And Sun-mi and Han-ju leave from there. Then, when Sun-mi is going back, she sees a spirit on top of a car on the road. Because of that spirit, the driver starts to feel sleepy and an accident is about to happen. But Sun-mi goes near him and deliberately irritates him so that the driver gets angry and doesn't fall asleep. And that's what happens. The driver gets angry and the spirit leaves from there. Then Sun-mi makes Han-ju drive fast. At a red signal, she sees Kong crossing the road. Kong also sees her, but ignores her and leaves. Then he goes ahead and turns back to look at her. Seeing him, Sun-mi remembers the contract she made with him. Kong also remembers her. Kong, seeing Sun-mi, leaves from there. Sun-mi goes after him. Just then, a small child comes to Sun-mi and takes her to a place with him. Then suddenly, that child disappears. So Sun-mi looks up and Kong is there. Sun-mi goes to him. Sun-mi says, "But you are still the same. You never came before me after that day. Why have you come now?" Kong says, "You never took my name, so how could I come? Anyway, no matter how much you try, you won't remember my name." Sun-mi says, "You are not so important that I should remember you. When I was little, I thought you were some powerful spirit who could protect me. But now I understand. You are also just a normal spirit." Then Kong asks, "You must have problems dealing with spirits, right? Give me your phone number. I will tell you about some magic tricks." Sun-mi asks, "If I take your name, will you really come to protect me?" Kong answers. So Sun-mi says, "Then what is the need for a phone number? When needed, give me your name because I remember your name." Saying this, she leaves. Kong is surprised to hear this and follows her, asking, "How can you remember my name? This is not possible at all." Sun-mi says, "If you don't believe it, then don't." Kong says angrily, "Don't try to fool me." Sun-mi says, "Whether I remember your name or not, I will never call you." Dealing with spirits, I have now learned to protect myself. I don't need any fairy or protector. Kong says, "This is a good thing that you don't need me anymore." And then he leaves from there. On the other side, Wang goes to Sun-mi's office. Han-ju recognizes him and says, "You are that singing show's judge, right?" Wang says, "Yes." Han-ju asks, "Will you have coffee?" Wang says, "Yes." So Han-ju tells him, "Wait in the office," and goes to get coffee. Wang goes into the office, sees a photo and says, "This is her." Then Wang starts looking at the things in her office and finds Sun-mi's slipper there. He smells it and says, "This is Sam Jang's smell." Then he starts smelling the slipper again. Han-ju is shocked to see him doing this. When Wang sees him, he says, "I will come next time," and leaves. Sun-mi meets the same driver on the road, whom she was trying to anger. He is about to hit her, but Kong uses magic to stop him. So he starts to frustrated and leaves, telling Sun-mi, "I'll see you next time." Sun-mi then looks back, and Kong is standing there. Kong says, "When you remember my name, why didn't you call me?" Sun-mi says, "Why are you feeling bad?" Kong says, "I didn't like hearing that someone doesn't need me. Now I have to check if you remember my name or not." Sun-mi is about to take his name when Han-ju calls her and asks her to come to the office. Then Sun-mi tells Kong, "You are not that important to me." Kong says, "Take my name, and if you take the wrong name, I will kill you." Hearing this, Sun-mi tells the truth. "I don't remember your name. I was lying." Kong says, "How dare you lie to me?" Sun-mi says, "I have been waiting for you for 25 years, thinking maybe you would come to protect me. That's why I told this lie to annoy you." Saying this, she leaves, and Kong keeps looking at her. After this, Sun-mi is at home when a spirit comes and attacks her. Sun-mi tries to drive it away, but during this, she is injured, so she goes to another room, closes the door, and says, "My blood should not have spilled." Sun-mi is Sam Jang, so the smell of her blood spreads throughout the city, due to which all the spirits come to attack her. Wang also gets her smell. All the spirits come to Sun-mi's house. Just then, Kong arrives there, fights all the spirits, and drives them away. Then Sun-mi comes out, sees Kong and says, "Did you come here to protect me?" Kong sees that mark on her neck and understands that she is Sam Jang. Just then, Wang also comes there, drives away the remaining spirits and says, Kong also found out about Sam Jang. Sun Mi asks Kong, "You came here to save me, right?" Kong says, "No, I came here to eat you." After this, Kong, while bandaging Sun Mi's wound, says, "I came here to eat Sam Jang. But how can I eat someone I know?" Sun Mi thanks him for protecting her. Kong says, "Now more spirits will come to kill you. I will have to protect you. But for that, we will have to make a new contract. And before making a new contract, the old contract will have to be broken." When Sun Mi extends her hand to the old contract, Kong is only looking at her hand. Seeing this, Sun Mi does not break the old contract and says, "I am not as stupid as before. You want to break the contract and eat me." Kong says yes and says, "Many spirits want to eat you, so it's better if I eat you." Sun Mi says, "As long as I have a contract, you cannot eat me." Saying this, she leaves from there. Kong goes to her and says, "One day I will eat you and become powerful." Hearing this, Sun Mi ignores him and starts to leave. But Kong again blocks her path and flies away with her in the air. On the other side, Wang tells Subo Ri Kong hasn't eaten her. There must be some reason for this. Then, Kong and Sun Mi are in a restaurant. There, Sun Mi asks Kong, "If we didn't have a contract, would you really have eaten me?" Kong says, "Because you are Sam Jang, I would have eaten you." Sun Mi says, "What is this Sam Jang?" Meanwhile, Wang tells his secretary, Sam Jang is the human who was given heaven's royal blood. And this happened because she released Kong. The secretary asks, "Will you protect Sam Jang on Subori's say-so?" Wang says, "Sam Jang's blood smell is very strong. It's the first time in 1,000 years that I couldn't control myself." But Kong is also a spirit. How has he controlled himself? Meanwhile, Sun Mi says, "Sam Jang's life must be very hard." Kong says, "Yes, that's why I'm saying die by my hands. You won't see spirits, and you will be able to live like normal people. I will eat you without hurting you. Now you decide if you want to die after a week or after a month." Sun Mi says, "I will never die by myself. I want to live now." Saying this, she gets up and leaves from there. Kong says, "This contract is coming in between. Otherwise, I would have eaten her by now." Then when Sun Mi is going home, a spirit suddenly attacks her. Sun Mi tries to use her umbrella, but the spirit snatches her umbrella, throws it away, and is about to kill her. Kong comes there and drives it away from there. Kong looks at Sun Mi's hand and says, "How long will you live like this?" Sun Mi quietly sits there. So Kong says, "Should I take this as your yes and eat you?" Sun Mi says, "No, you keep protecting me like this, like you just did. And we also have a contract between us, right?" Kong says, "You still don't remember my name, and until you call me by my name, I will not protect you. My other offer is still open. You think about it. You have 15 days. Sun Mi calls him crazy and leaves. Kong says, "At least take your umbrella." But Sun Mi leaves without taking her umbrella. Then, Wang comes home and sees that Kong's coat is again on his statue. Seeing this, Wang gets angry and Kong is fixing an umbrella. Wang says, "If your coat is on my statue next time, I will burn it." Then Wang asks him about the umbrella. So Kong says, "This is Sam Jang's. Today I found her. She is the same girl I had to save once before." Wang says, "And that's why she got the punishment of driving away evil spirits. And now that you know she is Sam Jang, why haven't you eaten her yet?" Kong had put some sauce to make for eating Sam Jang. He tells Wang, "I am going." You turn off the gas after 20 minutes. Seeing this, Kong is making sauce, so it means he will definitely eat Sam Jang. Then, Kong is sitting on the roof of a building, holding an umbrella, thinking about Sun Mi. Sun Mi comes there looking for her umbrella, but she doesn't find it. So Kong throws her umbrella towards her from the roof. Sun Mi takes the umbrella and leaves from there. At that moment, Kong is sitting on the roof of her building, making fireworks with a candle. Sun Mi tries to remember his name, but she doesn't remember. Then she starts checking the names of her clients, thinking maybe she will get some information from this. Hanju comes there and tells Sun Mi, "Wang came to meet you yesterday." Sun Mi says, "I don't know any Wang." So Hanju shows Sun Mi a video of Wang's show. Sun Mi recognizes him. On the other side, Kong is with the ice god. The ice god asked him about Sam Jang. Kong says, "I have also prepared the sauce." PK arrives there. He tells the fans stay 10 meters away, meets Kong and says, "We are meeting after a long time." Kong tells him, "Stop overacting." PK says, "What about Sam Jang?" Kong doesn't tell him anything and sends him away from there. Meanwhile, Sun Mi comes to meet Wang and asks him Kong's name. Wang says, even if I tell you his name, you will not remember his name. Now only Kong can return your memory to you. Sun Mi says, then the contract is also useless. Which contract? So Sun Mi tells him about the contract. Wang says, oh, so that's why he hasn't eaten you yet. We need something to catch Kong. Then he takes her to a place with him. A lady gives Wang a perfume that Wang himself had ordered from her. Then she takes him with her to show him something. After Wang leaves, Sun Mi is looking at the things kept there. Just then, she sees a pot there. She opens it and sees herself and Kong in it, who are kissing each other. Seeing this, Sun Mi gets scared. So that boy tells her this pot shows the future. Just then Wang comes there and he tells Sun Mi, we found what we needed. This is Gang Go. On the other side, a couple goes to see a house. Their wedding is tomorrow. The lady sees a painting out there. After that, both go to check the other rooms. Painting. While going back, the girl comes to pick up her purse and sees the painting again. Just then, the spirit takes the girl inside the painting. Then Kong is in Sun Mi's house. When Sun Mi comes back, Kong comes to her and asks her, where did you go? Sun Mi says, I went shopping. Kong says, lies. You went to meet Wang. Sun Mi says, I went to ask your name. Kong says, I told you, you will never remember my name. Kong then shows her her wall and says, look, I fixed your wall. So now you choose me. Sun Mi says, dying by your hands would be the best choice, but before I die, I have some wishes. I want you to fulfill them. Kong asks, what are the wishes? Tell me, I will fulfill them. Sun Mi says, I want to have a family dinner, drink with friends, and go on a date with a boyfriend. Hearing this, Kong first takes her to a family restaurant where he makes her have dinner. Then, he takes her for a drink. Kong himself cannot drink because he is banned from drinking. After that, he takes her on a date to a very beautiful place. Sun Mi likes this place. Kong tells her to take photos like other people. Sun Mi takes out her phone and takes a selfie. Kong, looking at other couples, tells her, come closer to me and take a selfie together. Sun Mi finds this a bit strange. So she moves away and says, this place is truly very beautiful. Just then, Kong turns off the lights there and tells Sun Mi, this is the perfect time to decide to die. Sun Mi says, I want to live my life. Kong says, I have done my work. Then Sun Mi thanks him for today and gives him the same gift that Wang had given to Sun Mi. Kong asks, why are you giving this to me? Sun Mi says, I have never given a gift to anyone till today. So before I die, I want to do this too. Kong looks at her and takes that gift. Here, Sun Mi remembers Wang's words. Wang had told her, if you make him wear this, you can make him agree to all your demands, and if he refuses to listen to you, his heart will ache a lot. Kong puts the box in his pocket. Sun Mi says, today was the best day of my life. That's why I don't want to die today. Kong says, you still have 15 days. Then Sun Mi starts to leave from there. So Kong turns on the lights and tells Sun Mi, go see what you were looking at. Then Wang is at home. Kong comes home and puts his coat on the statue. Just then, Wang comes to him and says, I warned you, I will burn your coat. Kong says, burn it, and leaves. Wang says, I will burn it in front of your eyes. Saying this, he throws the coat against a wall. He hears some sound from the coat, so he checks and finds that same box in the coat's pocket. He comes to Kong and says, check before burning. Isn't there anything important of yours in this? Kong says, there is nothing. He tells him to check again. So Kong tells him, burn it, and leaves. Wang takes out his anger on his coat. Just then, Kong remembers that box, and he comes back and takes the box out of the coat. He thanks Wang and leaves. Wang says, wear it once, then see what happens to you. Then Kong goes to his brother's company to meet his brother Yun, and, showing him the Gango, asks about it. Yun says, I don't know anything about this, and if I find out anything, I will tell you. Then Sun Mi is in the office when the same boy whose fiancé had gone inside the painting comes there. That boy breaks the deal for that house with Sun Mi and says, that house is not right. Hearing his words, Sun Mi goes to check that house. There, when she is looking at that painting, that spirit pulls her inside too. Hanju looks for her, so Hanju takes the painting and comes to the office. There, Kong asks him about Sun Mi. Hanju says, I don't know where she is. We went to check a property somewhere and she disappeared. Then Kong also, seeing the spirit in that painting, takes it with him and leaves. Meanwhile, PK's interview is going on. So Kong comes there, takes him from the middle of the interview, and asks him about that painting. And he also asks how he can go inside it. PK reveals the wife is not the demon, the husband is, and the house where their wedding took place still exists. By going there, you can go inside the picture. Kong does so, and comes inside the picture. There, Kong hears ladies talking. 7 brides have come inside. Just then, the brides arrive there. Kong tries to find Sun Mi among the brides. Thus then, the people there see Kong and say, "He is not from our village." They bring him to the demon husband. The demon husband says, "I created this world. If you hurt me, this world will end, and no one will be able to go back from here." Kong says, "I have no interest in you. I have come to take someone back." The demon husband says, "If that girl is your bride, then I will send her back. Find her yourself, and if you choose wrong, you will have to go back alone." Kong looks at them and says, "They all look the same." Then he tells the magic butterfly, "Find Samjang." So the magic butterfly goes straight to Sun Mi. Kong says, "This is her." So Kong is happy to see her and tells her, "Come with me." The demon husband asks Sun Mi, "Is this your husband?" Kong tells her, "Come to your senses. We have to go back." When Sun Mi says nothing, Kong shows her the Gango she gave him and wears it. Then Sun Mi holds his hand. The demon husband lets her go. When Sun Mi comes to her senses, she asks, "Where am I?" Kong is taking her away. Just then, the demon husband also smells Sam Jung and stops them from leaving. So Kong hits them and flees from there with Sun Mi. Kong comes out the same way he went into the painting and asks, "Are we out?" They are still inside the painting. PK had picked up the camera on Wang's instruction, so they didn't come out. Wang asks PK, "If I burn this painting, will he be locked inside?" PK says, "Yes." Wang is happy to know this. Meanwhile, both are inside. Kong says, "PK betrayed us." Sun Mi asks, "What will we do now?" Kong says, "Now we will have to ask the demon husband for the way." Wang burns that painting. Both smell something burning. Kong understands that someone is burning the painting. Kong says, "If it burns completely, we won't be able to get out." Sun Mi says, "I saw this scene in a pot," and they said, "What is seen in it really happens." Kong asks, "What did you see?" Sun Mi says, "I saw something bad." Kong says, "Whatever you saw, tell me quickly." Hearing this, Sun Mi goes to him and kisses him. As soon as she kisses, the Gango activates and Kong's heart starts to ache. Seeing all this, Kong angrily asks, "What is this?" Sun Mi says, "This is Gango. Now you won't be able to hurt me." Outside, Wang says if Kong wears the Gango properly, Sam Jang can come out. Meanwhile, Kong tells Sun Mi, "Now, if you are in danger, I will also feel pain, and our contract is still valid." After this, Kong returns her memory of his name and says, "Now you will get me out of here." Saying this, he throws her out of the picture world, and Sun Mi comes out. PK comes to pick her up. Sun Mi asks him, "Did only I come out?" PK says the other brides have also come out. Sun Mi asks about Kong. PK says the picture has burned, now he can never come out. Meanwhile, Wang burns the picture, was happy, and says, "Goodbye, Kong." Then, while coming back, Sun Mi tells PK, "Bring Kong back." So PK says, "I don't have that much power." After this, Sun Mi goes to meet Kong's brother Yoon and asks him to help Kong. Yoon says, "Even if I want to, I cannot bring him back from there." Hearing this, Sun Mi starts to leave. So Yoon asks her about the contract between her and Kong. So Sun Mi tells him everything. Hearing this, Yoon gives her. Meanwhile, PK tells Wang, Sun Mi has gone to meet Yoon. Wang says Yoon doesn't have that much power. PK says Sun Mi made Kong wear the Gango. Hearing this, Wang gets angry and says then she can get him out. Then, Sun Mi comes to a place and, acting on Yoon's idea, cuts her hand and says, "Now you will have to come to save me." Many spirits come to attack her due to the smell of Samjong's blood. Seeing this, Sun Mi takes Kong's name. So Kong comes out of the picture world to her and tells Sun Mi, "Finally." Then he fights the evil spirits and drives them away. After that, he lifts Sun Mi's fallen blood from the ground, turns them into butterflies, and makes them fly in the air. Seeing this, Sun Mi calls him amazing. Kong says, "I told you that your blood is dangerous." Sun Mi says, "I was told. Only when I am in danger, you will come to save me." Then Kong heals Sun Mi's hand injury with his magic. Sun Mi asks, "Do you still want to eat me?" Hearing this, Kong moves towards her. So Sun-mi tells him, I am not your food anymore. When Kong stops, Sun-mi relaxes. Kong says, a very big problem has occurred. The side effects of Gango have started. Sun-mi asks, what happened? Kong says, I have fallen in love with you, and that too, a crazy love. Meanwhile, Subo reveals Gango's effect is directly on the heart, and the wearer falls in love with the one who made them wear it. Wang is shocked to hear this. Meanwhile, Kong and Sun-mi are in a restaurant. Kong tells Sun-mi, I want to go beat up PK, but I can't because I want to see you. Sun-mi says, it's not my fault. Kong says, you were the one who killed me. You were the one who gave this to me, and you also activated it by kissing me. Sun-mi says, I didn't know this would happen. Kong says, kiss me again to prove that you didn't do all this knowingly. Sun-mi pushes him away and, feeling embarrassed in front of everyone, leaves from there. Kong goes after her and says, I don't want to kiss you, but what can I do now? I have fallen in love with you. Even when Sun-mi looks angry, Kong says, you still look pretty to me. You won't be able to tolerate this love, so take off this bracelet. When Sun-mi refuses, Kong says, if you can't take it off, then kiss me. Sun-mi calls him crazy and leaves. Kong says, I am the one who has gone crazy. Sun-mi says, if you love me, then this is your problem, not mine. Your job is to protect me, and I don't love you. Kong overacts and says, the one I love has hurt my feelings. Sun-mi says, stop talking nonsense. Kong says, I will. Kong feels cold, so he takes off Sun-mi's scarf and wears it. Sun-mi says, what are you doing? Kong explains, I used to live in a volcano, so I feel colder here. Then Sun-mi feels cold, so Kong puts the scarf back on her and says, I am feeling cold, but still, I am giving this scarf to you. I have really become strange. If this isn't love, then what is? Sun-mi refuses. Kong says, nothing can be done now. When you call, I will come. Go home now. Saying this, he leaves from there. Then two people are hiding a dead body when Sun-mi's blood butterfly lands on the dead body. So it turns into a zombie and gets up from there and leaves. Those two people are shocked when the dead body disappears, and then, sitting in the car, say, we will have to tell the client all this. That zombie girl is in the car. Both get scared and drive the car, which causes an accident, and the zombie girl comes out of the car and leaves from there. Then PK is at a place. He is shocked to see Kong's car there and runs away. Kong chases him and finally catches PK and beats him a lot. Then PK says, I didn't burn the painting. Yoon also says, Wong also gave the gang go to Sun-mi. Hearing this, Kong says, I will not let him sleep peacefully tonight. So he spreads the news that Wong has caught Sam Jang. After this, Wong repeatedly gets calls from spirits, and they ask him for Sam Jang's blood. Wong says, I don't have Sam Jang. Then the secretary comes and tells Wong, I have found out. Kong spread this news that Sam Jang is with you. Wong says, I will not spare him. Then a man named Jack comes and also asks Wong for Sam Jang's blood. Wong refuses him and gives him candy and leaves. But Jack keeps following him and repeatedly asks him for Sam Jang's blood. Wong then gets rid of Jack, and when he comes home, he gets angry seeing Kong's coat on his statue. Kong says, you're here? I like our house very much. Wong laughs and says, this is not our house, only my house. Kong says, you must be very tired today. Wong asks, why did you spread false news? Kong says, all the spirits were bothering Sam Jang, so I diverted their attention to you. Wong says, I heard, now you have become Sam Jang's slave. Kong says, this all happened because of you. Wong laughs and says, how does it feel wearing this? Kong says, I explained a lot, but she is not ready to take off the bracelet. Then he tells him to get the clothes dry cleaned and leaves. After this, Kong looks at the sauce he made to eat Sam Jang and becomes sad. Wong says, you spent 3 days making this sauce. Your food is in front of you, but you can't eat it. You must be feeling bad, right? Kong says, crying, I should have eaten her when I found her. And crying, he puts the sauce in the fridge. Wong says, why are you putting it in the fridge? Kong says, I will not throw it away. The day this bracelet comes off, that day I will eat Sam Jang. And crying, he leaves from there. On the other side, Sun-mi cannot sleep and is thinking about Kong. Just then, Kong suddenly appears in front of her. Sun-mi gets scared and tells him, why have you come here? So Kong says, you were the one who called. Sun-mi says, I didn't call. Kong says, whenever you think about me, I will appear in front of you. Sun-mi tells him to leave, but he refuses, comes out, and checks the fridge. There is nothing in the fridge, so he asks Sunmi, "Don't you eat food?" Sunmi pushes him away and says, "I mostly eat out." Sunmi then tells him, "Now you go. When I need you, I will call you." Kong says, "I love you, but you are shooing me away, and if you don't love me, then take," but Sunmi refuses. So Kong angrily disappears from there and goes outside to vent his anger. The next day, Sunmi goes to see a house. The lady there tells her, "I hear noises from the room upstairs." Sunmi goes upstairs and sees a spirit there. Sunmi sends Hanju out and points her umbrella towards that spirit, but that spirit is not. Just then, Kong comes there and drives it away. He tells Sunmi, "You should have called me." Sunmi says, "I had forgotten about you." Kong says, "I missed such a good chance. You would have died without me knowing." Sunmi says, "I have an umbrella and I can fight spirits like these." Kong says, "Don't get angry or I will get hurt because you can't see the one you love." Sunmi tells him, "Go." So Kong says, "How can you tell me to go? This also hurts," and disappears. Sunmi smiles at his words. Then Sunmi is eating food in the office when Kong comes there and tells Sunmi, "Why are you eating alone?" Sunmi says, "I don't need you. Now you leave from here." Hearing this, Kong disappears. The next day, when Sunmi is again eating food, Kong comes. He has brought a teddy bear for her. He tells Sunmi, "If you don't eat with me, then eat with this. Its name is Senhyuk." Sunmi gets irritated with him. Kong tells her, "Take off the gang. Go." Sunmi tells him, "Leave." So Kong leaves Senhyuk there and goes. After this, Sunmi sits with Senhyuk, eats food, and keeps talking to him. In the next scene, Wong comes to meet Sunmi and says, "I gave you the gang. Go. So now you also have to make a contract with me." Sunmi asks, "What kind of contract?" Wong says, "According to this contract, whichever evil spirits you drive away, I will get the." Sunmi says, "What if I don't sign this contract?" Wang says, "Then I will take back the gang. Go, and then Kong will eat you." Then Wong comes home and, looking at a painting, says, "Where are you in this life?" Meanwhile, Sunmi is thinking about the contract, whether she should sign it or not. Because Sunmi doesn't have power, Kong will kill those spirits and Wong will get them. Sunmi says, "What should I do now?" The next day, while crossing the road, Sunmi sees the spirit of a man, the spirit of a child who had died in a road accident. Sunmi puts popcorn in a paper for him and leaves from there. The zombie girl sees her leaving. Then she comes and picks up the popcorn paper, and Sunmi's address is written in it. The zombie girl's name is Sarah. She was rejected in a show's audition and has been missing for the last 5 days. The people who were hiding her body see the news and say, "We will tell the client." We will not tell him. The body has disappeared. Then Sunmi goes to meet Wang and asks him, "Are you in such a hurry to become king?" Wang says, "Yes, that's why. That's why I want to collect as many points as possible. Now you tell me your decision." So Sunmi says yes to making a contract with him. On the other side, zombie girl Sarah comes to Sunmi's house. At the same time, Hanju comes to Sunmi's house with a parcel. Hanju checks that parcel to see if there is anything to keep in the fridge or not. Just then, his hand gets cut. When the zombie girl smells blood, she starts going towards him. Just then, Kong comes and knocks her unconscious and says, "I don't know what all comes in." After this, Sunmi calls, so Kong goes to her. So Sunmi thanks him for his help. Kong says, "Don't say thank you." Sunmi refuses him for this and then tells him about Wong's contract. Meanwhile, Wong looks at that painting and says to wait a few more days. Meanwhile, zombie girl Sarah regains consciousness. Just then, Hanju comes back to Sunmi's house to get some of his things. Kong tells Sunmi Hanju is about to die. Sunmi tells him, "Save him." Kong says, "The contract only said to save you. I don't care if others die. And if you want me to save him, then take off this gang." Sunmi is about to take off the gang. Just then, Wong comes there and tells Sunmi, "You go and save him. If you are in danger, he himself will come to save you." Hearing this, Sunmi tells Kong, "Help," and leaves from there. After she leaves, Wong tells Kong, "If you don't help her now, your heart will ache." Hearing this, Kong goes to save Hanju. Meanwhile, zombie girl Sarah is about to attack Hanju. Just then, Kong comes there, pushes Sarah aside, and tells Hanju, "Leave from there." So, Hanju quickly comes out. Outside, he meets Sunmi. Hanju asks, "What is all this happening?" Sunmi tells him go, and goes inside herself. Kong puts Sarah in a bag. Sunmi is happy to see him. Kong says this is happening because of Gang Go. Sunmi says, "You are protecting me only because of Gang Go." Kong says, I am not protecting you. Gango is. Saying this, he takes the bag and leaves. Sunmi becomes sad hearing this. Then, Wang's secretary tells him, Sunmi has signed the contract. So Wang tells her, keep the contract in a safe place. The secretary says, this is a fake contract. Where is the real contract? Wang says, I have recognized you. Just then, the real secretary also comes there. So Kong comes into his real form. The secretary is shocked to see him. Kong asks Wang, how did you recognize me? Wang says, my power is greater than yours. Kong asks him for that contract, but Wang refuses to give the contract. So Kong says, okay, then I will demolish this building. He uses his power and starts to demolish the building. So Wang also uses his power and starts to stop him. Just then, Subo comes there, stops both of them and tells them, solve the problem by talking. Kong shows the contract and says, he is using me to become king. Wang says, I couldn't become king because of you. My points were deducted because I got you released. Both start arguing. Subo stops them and says, I will solve this problem. Wang's contract will be valid until Samjang fulfills her duty. After that, you will also be free. Wang agrees to this, but Kong does not. Subo retells Kong, the punishment for the rules you broke will end, and the ban on drinking will also be lifted. Kong looks at Gango and says, this will also come off. Subo says, yes. Then he starts to leave with the contract, but Kong stops him and says, I haven't said yes yet. Wang says, what more do you want? Kong says, your house. Wang says, I have arranged another house for you. Kong says, I don't want another house. I want that same house. Wang refuses, but Kong says, from now on, that house is mine. Saying this, Wang gets up to hit him, but Subo stops him. Wang then tells the secretary he is doing all this to harass me, but I will also live with him in that same house. Then, Wang feels dizzy due to weakness. So, the secretary supports him. On the other side, the lady is cleaning the pot. Just then, she hears the pot crying and says, something bad is definitely going to happen. Then, as soon as the lady leaves, a crack appears in the pot. Then, Kong is cleaning the bottles of drinks, and at the same time says, when the ban is lifted, I will drink them all. On the other side, Wang tells his statue, from now on, you are the owner of this house. But I will soon kick him, Kong, out of this house. After that, he comes to Kong's monkey statue, dirties it, and takes out his anger on it. The next day, Wang opens the fridge to drink water and gets scared seeing zombie girl Sira in it. He asks PK, what is she doing here? PK says, Kong asked me to keep her in the house. She was smelling, so I put her in the fridge. Sira says, close the fridge door. Wang gets angry at PK and then tells Sira, come out. When Sira comes out, he tells Sira, tell me everything about yourself. Sira says, I don't remember anything. PK says, she came alive because of Samjang's blood, and I fed her life-sustaining stones, which is why she is talking. Wang gets even angrier at PK because those stones were Wang's. PK says, Kong told me to do all this. Saying this, he leaves from there. Wang tells Sira, go out, you smell a lot. Sira says, I came here in a bag yesterday. Wang puts her in the bag and takes her out. The watchman comes to help him and also smells it. This smell is coming from me, and then drives the watchman away from there. Wang takes her to the office and tells the secretary, send her to Samjang's house, she will handle her. PK then takes that bag and comes outside Sunmi's office and calls her out. Sunmi is then in the car with PK. She came alive from your blood, so now you have to burn her. Sunmi says, we shouldn't burn her right now. We should find out about her killer. PK says, if we don't burn her now, she will later become an evil spirit. Sunmi requests him, so he agrees. Then they take Sira to Ice God's sister, Fairy Han, to get her makeup done. Fairy Han brings her after doing her makeup, and Sunmi calls her beautiful. When Sira says thank you, her eyes pop out, so Fairy Han takes her to fix them. Sunmi tells PK, I have asked Yoon to collect information about Sira's towel. Yoon then calls her and tells her about a club. So Sunmi takes Sarah there and asks people there, do you know her? No one there knew Sarah. Then Sunmi makes Sarah sit in a place and goes to the washroom. From behind, a boy comes there and thinking Sarah is a dead body, goes to call everyone. Just then, Sunmi comes there and takes Sarah away. When that boy brings other people there, no one is there. So everyone else tells him, rest, and leaves. Then, at night, everyone is at Kong's house. Just then, Yoon and PK get a message from Sunmi saying, I have brought Sarah. So PK goes to pick her up. Kong asks, why did you two get a message at the same time? Yoon says, Sunmi has created a group in Sarah's name. Everyone is in it. Ice God, Fairy Han, PK, Wong. Sunmi sent a message in the group. That's why we got the message at the same time. Should I add you to this too? Kong says, no, I don't need it. Just then, PK arrives there with Sarah. Sunmi had left her there and gone. PK and Yoon then talk about the chat. PK also asks Kong, should I add you to the group too? Kong gets angry and says, if you add me, I will kill you. Then, a message comes in the group again. So Kong angrily gets up from there, goes to his room and says, she added everyone to the group, only she didn't add me. Saying this, he lies down angrily and says, I didn't even feel this bad when I was kicked out of heaven, as bad as I feel now. After this, Kong is at home and feels very cold. He comes out and turns off the AC. Sarah asks him, then what will happen to me? Kong tells her, go into the fridge. Sarah is going with her phone. So Kong says, zombie, you bought a phone? Sarah says, Yoon gave it to me. Then Sarah also gets a message in the group. Seeing this, Kong gets irritated and says, she didn't invite me to the group. Sarah says, you don't need any group. You have a direct connection with her. Hearing this, Kong smiles. The next day, everyone is eating when Wong gets angry at Sarah because she had to sleep in the fridge on Kong's orders. Don't sleep in the fridge after this. You should keep your room's heater on. Kong says, this is my house, so why should I do that? Add me to the group. Kong is about to say yes, but Yoon says beforehand, he doesn't like groups. Everyone looks at the group chat and laughs, and Kong keeps looking at them. Sunmi goes to the future-seeing pot and sees the crack in it. Then, she sees the future in it. The world is being destroyed. Seeing this, she gets scared, and then that pot blasts. Subori comes there and tells Sunmi, this is what is going to happen in the future, and now you have to save the world from this danger. Then everyone is at a New Year party when they see on TV that this year's New Year bell will be rung by Korean University Professor Kang. Sarah sees him and says, I know him. He is also a member of the same club where I went. Meanwhile, Kong goes to meet Sunmi, and Sunmi tells him, I have seen this world ending. Meanwhile, Wang asks Subori, Sunmi is a human. How will she do all this? Subori says, heaven has chosen her. Wang says, so whose life will be lost in this work? Subori says, I don't know about that yet either, but it is confirmed that one of these two will lose their life. Meanwhile, Sunmi asks Kong, will you always protect me? Kong says, Sunmi says, then I can do this work. The next day, Sunmi and Hanju go to catch a ghost somewhere. Wang arrives there. Hanju asks, why has he come here? Sunmi says, he is my bodyguard. He has come to protect me. Then, Hanju goes to meet the owner of that house. Sunmi says, why are you sitting? Get up and find the ghost. Kong says, then he shows the Gango and tells Sunmi, I came here for you, not to find a spirit. Sunmi gets irritated, thinking something says, now I should also love you. She comes to Kong, pushes him onto the bed, lies down next to him herself, and says, now we will talk about love. Only then will the ghost come out. Then they come close to each other, and the ghost appears in front. Kong gestures to it to leave, but the ghost refuses and starts watching them. Kong gets up and kills the ghost. Kong and Sunmi are outside. Sunmi says, if we eliminate evil spirits like this, we can save the world. Kong says, I have nothing to do with the world. I only have to protect you, and I don't want to love you either. Is making me do it. Hearing this, Sunmi gets sad and tells Kong, I don't like you either. Saying this, she starts to leave from there. Kong also feels bad hearing this, so he gets up and goes to the other side. Then at night, Kong tells Wong, I like Sunmi, but Sunmi doesn't like me. Wong says, you like Sunmi because of Gango. The day it comes off, you will also stop liking Sunmi. Sunmi says, I don't like this flavor. Kong asks, which flavor do you like? Sunmi says, Kong says, I will bring that. Kong then asks her about her favorite things. so Sunmi tells him about her favorite things. Then Kong sits there and eats ice cream, and Sunmi smiles looking at him. On the other side, Wang gives Sarah a stone and says, "Maybe you will remember everything from this." When Sarah is picking up the stone, she accidentally drops the remote, and the painting area opens. Sarah asks, Wang says, "This is Chun. She committed a crime, so she was sent from heaven to the human world. She was punished to have a bad life in every life. No matter how many times she is born, she will die a bad death. Only Wang can stop this process after becoming king." In the next scene, Kong takes Sunmi to a place where he had collected bottles. Sunmi asks, "Why have you collected so many bottles?" Kong says, "When the ban is lifted, I will drink them all." He also gives Sunmi a drink. Sunmi drinks it and says, "When the ban is lifted, I will bring you more bottles." Kong says, "After the ban is lifted, why would I meet you? I was imprisoned in that house for many years. And now, because of you, I am imprisoned in this gango. If I get free from it, then I will make you disappear." Hearing this, Sunmi gets sad and starts to leave from there. So Kong gives her a coat and says, "It's cold outside, wear this," and also gives her a drink. Sunmi takes the drink and leaves from there. Then Wang's health is somewhat poor, so he sends the secretary to get medicine. Meanwhile, Kong meets the ice god and takes ice cream from him. Meanwhile, Wang takes medicine, but his health is still not good. The secretary says, "You can get well by eating samjang." Wang says, "If I do that, I will not be able to become king." Then Sunmi is going to meet someone, so Hanju tells her, "Take your bodyguard with you." Sunmi says he is not needed right now. When Sunmi leaves, Hanju badmouths Kong. Just then a ball comes and hits him on the head. Actually, Kong had hit him because he was badmouthing him. Meanwhile, Wang recovers after taking medicine again. Kong meets Sunmi and seeing the long line for cotton candy there. "Why is there such a long line here?" Sunmi says, "This candy is tasty." Kong asks, "Will you eat it?" Sunmi says, so Kong pushes everyone back and stands at the front. So Sunmi tells him, "Stand in line at the back." So he stands in line and gets cotton candy. He gets a big candy made for Sunmi. Then they take the cotton candy and sit somewhere. Sunmi says, "I have never seen such a big candy till today." Then she gives a little to Kong to taste too. When Kong tastes it, he likes it a lot. So Kong takes all the candy from Sunmi and gives her a little. Seeing him eating happily, Sunmi says, "If you hadn't warned Gango, you wouldn't have been able to eat cotton candy either." Then, Sunmi makes a wish somewhere and puts a lock. Just then, a boy comes there and clicks her photo. He tells Sunmi, "Your face is not visible in this. Still, if you want, I can delete it." Sunmi says, "It's okay, let it be." Saying this, she leaves from there. Meanwhile, Wang's health deteriorates again. He tells the secretary to get medicine. Coming out, the secretary says, "I will not let Wang die under any circumstances." Then, she calls Sunmi and asks her to meet in the company's parking area. PK asks, the secretary says, to kill her, because only by eating her can Wang recover. After this, she comes to the parking area to meet Sunmi. PK goes and tells Wang all this. When Sunmi comes in front of the secretary, she stabs her, but this knife hits Wang, because Wang and Kong both had come there to save Sunmi. Kong tells the secretary, "If you do this again, I will kill you." Wang says, "She will die by my hands." The secretary then apologizes to both of them. Sunmi doesn't understand anything, so she asks both of them, "What is going on here?" So they tell her that the secretary wanted to kill her. Hearing this, Sunmi leaves from there sadly. The next day, Hanju brings ice cream for Sunmi. Sunmi thinks Kong brought it. Hanju says, Sunmi then goes out. So Hanju says, "Anyway, what else has that bodyguard done besides giving ice cream?" Then, Kong throws him down and says, "I have done a lot for Sunmi." Then, the man who had taken Sunmi, he comes to meet Wang and tells him to make a movie and also shows him Sunmi's childhood photo and says, "I want to make a movie about this girl." Wang sees her and recognizes that it is Sunmi. He asks that boy Bong, "How do you know her?" Bong says, "In childhood, a ghost had caught me. Then she helped me. I have loved her since then and have been looking for her." Then Wang is at home and tells Kong, "I am going to invite Sam Jang and a friend of mine to dinner very soon." Kong says, "Do whatever you want." Wang then imagines what will happen to Kong when Sunmi and Bong are together and I will be happy seeing this. Then Sunmi comes home and gets scared seeing Kong. Kong calls her to him and gives her food made by Yoon. Sunmi says, "Thank him on my behalf." So Kong picks up the thermos cup, gives it to her and says, "You can thank him with this." So Sunmi thanks Yoon through the cup. Then Yoon comes to the market to buy things and sees an octopus there. The octopus tells him, "I am Jav Dragon, the second son of the Dragon King. Get me out of here." Yoon takes him to Wang's office and then tells Wang everything that he was punished. But just then, someone caught him. "That's why I brought him here," Subori explains. "He was punished because he was giving wrong medicine. There are already so many people in the house. Now, I have to keep him too." Saying this, so Subori also goes after him. Then a heroine named Alice comes to meet Wang because she was forbidden to go to an audition for a new movie. So she had come to talk to Wang. The secretary tells her, "Wang is not in the office right now." Alice goes to the washroom. The secretary comes to the office. So the octopus is not there. The octopus meanwhile goes to Alice and, using magic, enters her body. Wang then tells Jav Dragon, "Leave Alice's body and go." Jav Dragon says, "No, I will not get such a good body again. I will not leave it." The secretary says, "Alice has to do an ad shoot." Jav Dragon says, "I will shoot." Then Hanju is talking about something with Sunmi in the office when Kong's name comes out of his mouth. So he puts his hand on his mouth. Sunmi asks, "Whenever I say something bad about Kong, things fall on me." Sunmi says, "After this, don't say anything bad about Kong, then this won't happen." Hanju says, "Then Wang is in the office." So the secretary asks him, "What will happen if Sunmi meets that boy Bong?" When Bong and Sunmi meet, Kong's heart will be broken into pieces, like it happens in dramas. He will secretly watch them together and cry, and seeing this will make me very happy. Then Bong comes to Sunmi's office to meet her, but Sunmi is not in the office. So Bong sees her childhood photo there and recognizes her. He waits for her for a long time. When Sunmi doesn't come, Bong gives Hanju some photographs and a note and leaves. When Sunmi comes, she sees that note and remembers Bong, that she had saved him in childhood. Then PK uploads a dance video of Sira on the internet. Siwa says, "Seeing this, my family will recognize me and then find me." Here we see that Sarah's family only has her mom, who, while looking for her, falls ill and reaches the hospital. The killer says, "Kill Sarah's mom too." But Kong, who is the principal of Korean University, tells them, "Don't kill Sarah's mom right now." Just then, a killer sees that dance video of Sarah on the internet, and he shows it to the other one too. Seeing this, both are shocked. Then Wang had invited Sunmi and Bong for a meal. Sunmi comes inside, and Bong also comes after her. Seeing Sunmi, Kong starts to go towards her when Bong comes there. Sunmi meets him, and both hug each other. Kong feels bad seeing this, and Wang is happy seeing him. Wang says, "You must be feeling jealous seeing all this, right? Now whatever I do will also be because of you." Saying this, he goes towards Sunmi. Kong moves Sunmi away from Bong, hugs her, and says, "I missed you." Then he kisses her too. Everyone is shocked to see this. After this, Sunmi and Bong are sitting. Bong tells Sunmi, "I am making a movie on your story." Sunmi says, "This movie will be horror. A fairy would come and save you. Did that fairy come?" Sunmi says, "Yes, that fairy has come." On the other side, Kong is at the bar. PK comes and tells him, "Sunmi is with someone else. Aren't you feeling bad?" Kong says, "Sunmi will not betray me." PK is still talking about the same things. So Kong gets angry. Seeing this, Fairy Han takes PK away from there. On the other side, when Bong and Sunmi are leaving, Wang tells Bong, "You drop Sunmi home." Sunmi says, "No, I have to go meet the fairy." Saying this, she leaves. PK understands that there is someone else in Sunmi's life. Then, Sunmi comes to the office and meets Kong there. Kong tells her, "Making me wear Gango, you shouldn't meet anyone else." Sunmi says, "You also have sauces ready for me." In a flashback, we see Wang had told Sunmi, "Kong has many sauces ready to eat you. I made it with so much effort. But I haven't eaten you yet, have I?" "Then why haven't you thrown them away yet?" "Because I didn't want to waste them." Sunmi says, "You will eat me after taking off Gango, right?" "All right, I forgive you this time. Now let's end this matter here. By the way, even when you were with Bong, you were still thinking of me, right?" Sunmi says, "No." Then she asks Kong, What will you do with the sauce? Kong says, I will keep them safe and eat you after taking off Gang Go. Sunmi says, I thought, now even after taking off Gang Go, you wouldn't hurt me. But you still want to eat me. Saying this, she leaves from there. Kong then comes home and sets all those sauces on fire. Seeing Kong angry, Wang says, they must have had a fight. In the next scene, Sunmi goes to the market. There, she meets the same boy, who is at the magic shop, from where Sunmi had taken the Gang Go. That boy is selling things on the roadside. Sunmi sees a red bell with him. Hong explains, this is a love bell. After taking this in hand, when this bell rings, then whoever you meet first after that, you will fall in love with them. Then Sunmi sees a black bell there. She asks Hong about it. So Hong takes that black bell from her and says, this is not useful for you, and takes it and puts it in his pocket. Then Kong is at home. So Sarah tells him, Sunmi is angry with you, so you should talk to Sunmi and tell her, I have burned all the sauces. I will go, but I have to see something right now. Wang's shouting is heard. He saw it. Wang is shocked to see his bull statue turned into a cow statue, and blaming Kong for that, says, now your monkey statue is gone. He is about to break his statue when Kong says, I didn't do this. Sarah says, you must have told her to do this. There is a witness too. Kong then starts teasing that Wang is a cow. Wang tells him to stop doing that. So Kong says, I am ending this matter as a joke and leaving because or right now, I don't want to fight with you. Sarah calls the cow cute, so Wang shoos her away from there. After that, Wang tells the statue, don't worry, I will clean you. After this, Sunmi goes to the market to buy some things. There she meets Bong. Bong asks her about her fairy. So Sunmi says, my fairy is evil. She wants to kill me. Bong says, then she is not a fairy. She is a monster. Then they both do shopping and come out. Outside, they meet Kong. Kong uses magic to make Bong go away from there. And then he comes to Sunmi and tells her, I have thrown away all the sauces and will not make them again. Then he tells Sunmi to go with him. But Sunmi refuses. So Kong says, my eyes will be on you. If you are with Bong, I will kill him and eat you too. Saying this, he leaves from there. Then Kong comes home and is very upset. Wang asks him, what happened? So Kong tells Wang everything. Wang says, if you keep telling Sunmi after taking off Gang Go, I will eat you, and she will never talk to you. You should talk to her nicely. On the other side, Sunmi is also sad thinking about all this. In the next scene, Kong goes to kill a spirit. So that spirit tells Kong, you will die at Sunmi's hands. Kong is shocked to hear this, but still, he drives it away. Just then, Sunmi comes there and asks, are you okay? Kong says, the spirit told me, you love me. Sunmi denies it. Then Kong says, the spirit said, you will kill me. Sunmi says, I will never do that. Kong says, don't meet Bong again. It hurts me. Sunmi says, if it hurts you, then I will not meet him. Then Kong tells her, I love you. So Sunmi thanks him. After this, Sarah is going somewhere when she sees the same car in which the killers had just then. Kang comes there. He is surprised to see Sarah. Here we are shown a flashback.
Sarah had an accident with Kang's car, and then Kang had put his towel on her and left. On the other side, Sunmi meets Hong, who was selling magic items on the roadside. Just then, Wang comes there. Seeing Wang, Hong runs away from there, and his black bell falls there. Sunmi picks it up. Then Hong comes to the shop and sees that the black bell is missing. Sunmi, thinking it is a love bell, says, will this make me meet my lover? Meanwhile, Subori reveals, this is not a love bell, but a death bell. Whoever it introduces you to, because of that person, the other one dies. Meanwhile, Sunmi hears the bell ringing, so she follows it, and it leads her to Kong. Here, Sunmi understands that he is her soulmate. After this, Wang is going somewhere, when at a red signal, Chen is in the car next to his, whom the police had arrested. Here, Wang cannot see her. Then, at night, Sunmi looks at the death bell, thinks about Kong, and smiles. Meanwhile, Wang tells Kong, a death bell is missing. If I find it, I will get more points. On the other side, Kang calls those two killers and says that the girl is alive, but her memory is gone. Because when I met her, she didn't recognize me. Tang tells those killers, now I don't need you two, so you two can go. After they leave, Kang's secretary asks him,
Now what to do with that Earl? Kang says, now I will handle her myself. Then Sira is sleeping in the bathtub, so Kang tells her to get out of there. Sira refuses, so Kang says, now I will boil you in hot water and kill you. Sira says, that's why Samjang hates you, because you behave rudely with her. Kang asks, how do you know? Sira says, I came alive from Samjang's blood. That's why we have a special connection. Kang says, okay, then tell me, does Sunmi like me or not? Sira says nothing. So Kang says, you were lying, right? Now I will really boil you in hot water and kill you. Sira says, she likes you, and it's clearly visible in her eyes. Kang says, you are lying because you don't want to die. Sarah says, Sunmi will be sad when I die, and when she is sad, you will also be sad, because you two are also connected to each other. Hearing this, Kang starts to leave. So Sarah tells him, turn off the light and go. The next day, Kang takes Sunmi to a restaurant. Both eat food there. Kang says, you want a normal life, right? So today we will live like normal people. Sunmi is happy to hear this. After that, Kang takes her for a walk, like a normal couple. Anyway, he also holds her hand and says, I have seen normal people do this. After that, Kang also comes to drop Sunmi home. And there, he tells her, you want a normal life, but I am not normal. Saying this, he leaves from there. And Sunmi is very sad to hear this. In the next scene, Sunmi is in the library. Then Kang comes there. Sunmi says, if Gango comes off, then maybe you won't love me like this. So I don't know what will happen later. So I want to tell you my feelings now. Saying this, she kisses him and confesses her love. I don't know how you kiss. Then he kisses her again. After this, everyone is together. Where, while talking, Wang says, we are all famous. Only Kang is the one who has done nothing. Kang says, what was the need to be famous? Live like me. Wang says, this gives people's love. Kang says, I don't need people's love. Sunmi's love is enough for me. Hearing this, Sunmi refuses and then picks up Kang and takes him with her. Coming to the room, she tells Kang, you shouldn't talk like this in front of everyone. Kang says, okay, after today, I will do it in private. Sunmi says, I don't know if we will stay together in the future or not, but still, I love you. Kang then shows Sunmi the stars, and Sunmi is happy to see them. After this, Sunmi looks at the black bell and thinks, should I tell Kang about this love bell or not? Then a construction work is about to start somewhere, and for that, they have to cut a tree planted there. But there is a spirit there, due to which everyone is scared to cut that tree, because whoever goes to cut that tree, the spirit kills them. Now no one is ready to cut that tree. When Kang finds out about this, Kang says, do anything, remove that tree from there. Here we find out that that place belongs to Kang. Then Sunmi comes to the hospital to see someone. Then Sunmi sees a man who has a spirit inside him. She goes after that man and meets PK and Sarah there. Sunmi tells them, there's a spirit inside a man here, and I am looking for him. TK makes Sarah sit there and goes with Sunmi to find that man. The room outside which Sarah is sitting, her mom is admitted in the same room. Meanwhile, Kang finds out that Sarah's mom is admitted in that hospital, so he asks, change her hospital. Then Sarah's mom is taken away from in front of her, but Sarah cannot recognize her. After this, Sunmi comes to meet Wong and tells him about the hospital spirit. Wong says, I will handle him. Then when Sunmi is leaving, Wong's secretary asks her, do you have a love bell? Sunmi says, yes. The secretary asks, did it ring? Sunmi says, yes, and leaves. After she leaves, the secretary says she heard the death bell ring. Then the secretary comes and tells this to Wong. Wong is shocked to hear this and asks, did that bell ring? The secretary says, yes. Wong then says, Sunmi thinks it's a love bell. Then Sunmi is at home when Kang comes to meet her. Sunmi goes to make tea for him. Then Kang sees the box of the black bell on the table. He opens it and sees the death bell in it. Sunmi brings tea, but Kang is not there. He goes to Hong and asks him about the death bell, so Hong tells him everything. Kang asks, has this rung already? Hong checks and says, yes, it has rung. Meanwhile, Wang asks Subo Ri, which of the two will die? Subo Ri says, their destiny is that one of them will die. The next day, Sunmi goes near that tree, cuts her hand, and brings that spirit out of the tree. So the spirit says, I have been protecting this tree for 1,000 years. Now you have brought me out. So whatever happens now, you will be responsible for it. Saying this, that spirit leaves from there. Then Sira is going somewhere when a lady recognizes her there and takes her to that room with her, where her mom was admitted. There she tells her about her mom and also shows her her photo. Sira recognizes her by seeing the photo and then calls her mom. Her mom's phone is with the killer. Then he calls Sira to meet him. Sira goes to meet him. So that killer catches her and takes her to Kang. Sira asks Kang, "Did you kill me?" Kang says, "Yes." Then he puts her in a container and locks it. There is also a coffin in the container. Actually, when Sun Mi had driven the spirit away from the tree. After that, Kang's people had cut that tree and dug there. Then they found a coffin there, which they had kept in that container. Now Sira is in the container with that coffin. Just then, a spirit comes out of the coffin and enters Sira. Then the killers go inside and check, and that spirit kills them and leaves from there. When Kang comes and looks, there is nothing there. Meanwhile, Subo-ri tells Wang and Kong about that spirit. The spirit's name is Sanyo. She was locked under the tree for 1,000 years. Kong asks, who was Sanyo? She was the king's servant. She is not a normal spirit. It cannot be told by looking at her whose body she is hiding in. Subo-ri tells both of them to handle her, but both of them start making excuses. Then, Sun Mi is in the office when Sanyo sends flowers for her. Sun Mi is looking at them. Just then, her hand gets cut and her blood goes to Sanyo. Sanyo tastes it and calls it tasty. Kong then comes to the office, and seeing those flowers, he knows that Sanyo sent them. So he takes her with him. On the other side, when Wang is going, he sees Chan somewhere on the road. He is about to go to her when the secretary stops him and says, if you go to her, her problems will increase even more in the next life. Hearing this, Wang stops right there and looks. Then, Wang is at home and is thinking about Chan. Just then, Sanyo comes there. So Wang gives her an energy stone and sends her away from there. When Sanyo comes out, she meets the secretary. The secretary asks her, why aren't you smelling? Sanyo says, I changed my perfume. The secretary says, okay, and leaves from there. Then, outside, she meets Kong. Sanyo tells him, Wang gave her energy stones. Kong takes the energy stones from her and says, I need this more. When Kong is going, Sanyo says, if I become Samgel, then Kong will be mine. Then, Kong comes to meet Wang and asks him why Sanyo came here. Wang says, Sanyo didn't come here. Seira came. Kong says, Sanyo is in Seira's body. Wang is shocked to hear this. On the other side, Kong brings the coffin to his house and says she will definitely come looking for it. After this, Sanyo meets Sun Mi and is about to hypnotize her when Kong comes there and stops her. Then, he takes her to a place with him and tells her, I know you are not Seira now. You are Sanyo. You have come out of the coffin after 1,000 years, and now, what do you want? Sanyo says, I want to become Samjin and make you mine. From now on, you will protect me and obey my every order. Kong says, this dream of yours will never come true. Meanwhile, Wang tells Sun Mi, another spirit has now entered Seira's body, and its name is Sanyo. Meanwhile, Sanyo tells Kong, I was locked up by deceit, and now I have come here to get married. The work that was left unfinished before, and I have chosen you as my partner. Kong says, this will never happen. I will never marry you. If you do anything to Samjang, no one will be worse than me. And Kong comes and tells everyone about Sanyo's wedding wish. He doesn't tell that Sanyo wants to marry him, but Wang still finds out. After this, Sun Mi and Kong are together. So Sun Mi says, I know that Sanyo wants to marry you. Wang has told me everything. Kong says, but I want to marry you. Sun Mi says, think about it. If you marry me, then even after Gango comes off, you won't be able to leave me and go. Kong says, I don't want to go either. Then he tells Sun Mi to make a new contract. Sun Mi says, I will make the new contract after thinking carefully. Then Kong's head aches, so he rests his head in Sun Mi's lap and starts to sleep. Sun Mi wakes him up and then tells him go home and sleep and leaves. Meanwhile, Wang finds out everything about Chan. Actually, Chan's son was killed by someone. Because of this, Chan had stabbed that killer and the police had arrested her. Knowing all this, Wang says, Chan has got such a life again. Her son has been killed by someone and now she will die while killing the killer. Then Sun Mi is in the office. and Hanju is telling her about some property. Just then, Kong repeatedly comes there, kisses Sunmi and disappears. Meanwhile, Wong goes to meet Subori and tells him, "I want to take Chan's punishment upon myself and free her from all this so that she can live her life peacefully." Subori says, "This punishment will be very hard. Your life could also be at stake." Wong says, "Still, I will do this." Here, we find out that Chan had stolen a human child's spirit to save her child. That's why heaven had given her this punishment. That she would be born again and again. There would be many problems in her life. Pray for me. Then Wang goes for the punishment. An evil energy comes and hits Wang. So he completes that punishment with all his strength and finally faints and falls. Kong comes and picks him up, and Wang asks, "Have I completed my punishment?" Kong says, "Yes," and now Chan is free. Because of all this, Wang's condition deteriorates and he loses his sight for a few days. In the next scene, Kong and Sunmi are together. So Kong puts a ring on Sunmi and asks her to marry him. Sunmi also agrees to the marriage. Then Kong comes home and tells everyone, "Sunmi and I are going to get married." The secretary says, "I will choose the dress for Sunmi." Kong says, "Okay." After this, Wang is with the secretary and says, neither of these two should die. Then 2 days before the wedding, Sunmi suddenly faints at home. And when she opens her eyes, she is in another place. Sunyo meets her there. Actually, Sunyo had used a sensor to take her there. Sunyo says, "Now, when we wake up, I will be in your body and marry Kong." Sunmi starts calling out to Kong, so Sunyo shows her the death bell and says, "This is not a love bell, it's a death bell. If you go out from here, either you will kill him or he will kill you. Kong has Gango, so he will not kill you. This means you will kill him." Sunmi remembers Kong's words, so Sunyo shows her the coffin and says, "Now you tell me. Do you want to be locked up or do you want to kill Kong?" Meanwhile, Kong comes to Sunmi's house and seeing Sunmi unconscious says, "This is Sunyo's work. And now I don't know where Sunmi's soul is." PK says, "If she was in trouble, why didn't she call you?" Meanwhile, Sunmi's soul gets locked in the coffin on Sunyo's instruction. After putting Sunmi to sleep in the coffin, Sunyo enters her body. Seeing Kong outside, she asks, "What are you doing here?" Kong says, "I was missing you, so I came to meet you." Hearing this, Sunyo hugs him. Here Kong understands that Sunyo is in Sunmi's body. Meanwhile, Wang tells everyone, until Kong finds out about Sunmi, he will behave with Sunyo just like Sunmi. The secretary asks, "Then will Kong have to marry her?" Wang says, "Marriage is a later thing. First, tonight, Kong has to escape from Sunyo." On the other side, Sunyo starts getting close to Kong. Kong stops her and says, "Right now, you are worried that after Gango comes off, I won't find you pretty, right?" Sunmi says, "Our wedding is going to happen soon, and after that, everything will be fine." Kong then tells her to come out and goes out himself. Coming out, Kong remembers Sunmi's words and says, "Sunmi, please come back and save me." Sunmi's ring shines in the coffin. After this, Kong brings her home to meet everyone, where everyone wishes her. Sunyo thanks everyone and starts showing her wedding ring, but Kong puts her hand down. The secretary takes Sunyo with her to show her the wedding dress. PK says, "She looks exactly like Sam Jong." Kong denies it and says, "I don't think so." On the other side, Ice God is near the censor. Here we find out that Sunyo had done all this with Ice God, and Ice God is helping Sunyo because Sunyo had helped him once in the past. That's why Ice God is now helping Sunyo. Sunyo had told him, when the censor's color turns blue, you should break it. So after this, Sunmi will never be able to come out. Then Kong finds out about Ice God that he is helping Sunyo. So he sends PK and the secretary to find Ice God. Then Kong is with Wong and says, "As soon as Sam Jong comes back, I will cut Sunyo into pieces." Wong says, "You have to wait now." Both laugh while saying these things so that Sunyo doesn't suspect them. Just then, Sunyo comes there and says, "I like the wedding dress a lot." Then Kong asks Yoon to drop Sunyo home. Sunyo says, "Today I will stay here and help with the work." So Yoon takes her with him to discuss the wedding. Kong is angry. Wong says, "Today you won't be able to escape her." Kong asks to sleep with Wong, so Wong refuses. Kong says, "Think of me as Chan." Wang refuses again, so Kong repeatedly asks him for help. Meanwhile, Yoon tries hard to stop Sunyo, but Sunyo still gets up and leaves. Yoon says, "Sorry," and says, "I could only stop her for this long." Then Kong puts on a face mask and pretends to sleep. Just then, Sunyo comes there. Wang tells her he fell asleep while taking care of his skin. Sanyo still starts going towards Kong, so Wang tells her, "I can't see anything. Please take me to my room." After they leave, Kong thanks Wang. Then Wang and Sanyo are talking when Kong comes and takes her outside. Going out, Kong asks her about Sunmi. Sanyo says, "I am Sunmi." So Kong pushes her and then goes and catches her too. He tells her, "I know you are Sanyo. Now tell me, where is Sunmi?" Sanyo breaks a bottle, brings it near her face, and says, "If you do anything to me, I will kill Sunmi forever." Hearing this, Kong gets scared. So Sanyo tells him, "Now our wedding will happen as planned." Saying this, she leaves. Then Kong meets Fairy Han and asks her about Ice God. So Fairy Han tells him. Kong then goes to Ice God and asks him for the censer. Ice God refuses to give it. So Fairy Han comes there, tells Ice God to give that censer, and tells Kong, "I have received the punishment for what he did. Now, don't say anything to him." Saying this, she disappears. On the other side, Wang can now see. Wang says, "Fairy Han has given me her eyes and left." Then Ice God gives Kong that censer and also asks for punishment for himself. Kong says, "Fairy Han has received your share of the punishment, so I will not give you any punishment now." Then Sanyo is at Sunmi's house when Yoon brings a dress for her there and says, "Kong sent this dress for you, and he has asked you to wear this dress and meet him." Sanyo does so. She wears that dress and goes to meet Kong. Kong has decorated the place. Sanyo says, "I will not fall for your words anymore." Kong gives her a drink and says, "You do drink, right?" Sanyo takes the drink. Kong then asks, "Why do you want to become Samjang?" Sanyo says, "I will call the dragon again and make someone king. You just have to protect me." Meanwhile, Wang and Ice God discuss that to bring Sunmi out, Sanyo will also have to be put to sleep and sent into that dream. Here Sanyo tells Kong, "I will become exactly like Sunmi." Kong asks, "What will you do? What will you do for me?" Sanyo says, "I will end the destiny of the death bell." Kong says, "Oh, so that's why Sunmi is not calling me." Sanyo says, "I have told her the truth, that if she comes back, you will die. She will never come back now. Will you still wait for her?" Kong refuses, takes the ring from her hand, kisses her and says, "There are many ways to give drugs. The drink I gave you had drugs in it. Now you will not wake up in this body again." After Sanyo sleeps, Kong comes to Wang and asks to go into Sunmi's dream. "You won't be able to go without a connection." Kong says, "I have a connection." He puts Sunmi's ring into the censer, and after that, he reaches Sunmi. He tells Sunmi to come back. Sunmi says, "I will not come. If I come back, you will die." She tells him to go, but Kong refuses. Because of this, his heart starts to ache. He tells Sunmi, "If you don't go back, I will die here." Hearing this, Sunmi becomes emotional and comes to him. Then both hug each other and come back. Kong says, "I found my bride." Then due to the drugs, he falls asleep. He gives that censer to Subo Ri. Meanwhile, Sanyo also regains consciousness and understands everything that happened to her. Then, she goes to meet Kang. In the next scene, Yoon tells Kong, Kang found Sanyo's coffin on his property. Hearing this, Kong says, so Sanyo chose him to make king. Then, PK takes Sanyo to meet Sarah's mom and says this is Sarah's mom, and she has reached this condition while looking for Sarah. But Sanyo angrily leaves from there. After this, Sanyo goes to meet Kang. So, Kang asks her, "Can you really call the dragon?" Sanyo says, "Don't judge me by my body. This body belongs to Sarah, who is a weak girl. But inside it now is me. Sanyo, I have a lot of power and I can do anything." After this, Sanyo goes to meet Sarah's mom and then comes to PK and tells him, "I have fulfilled Sarah's last wish and made her meet her mom." After this, Kong is with Sunmi. Sunmi says, "I feel like something bad is going to happen." Kong says, "Nothing will happen. We will always be happy together." Then, Subo Ri is given a sword by an old lady. Subo Ri says, Samjang's sword has arrived. Just then, Kong comes there and takes that sword. Subo Ri says, "With this sword, you will kill Samjang and then your Gango will disappear and your punishment will also end. Kong calls his words nonsense, takes that sword, leaves, and puts it in the ground somewhere. After that, Kong is with Sunmi. So Sunmi tells him to take off the gang. Go. Kong says, "What do you think? After Gango comes off, my feelings will remain the same? It won't be like that. Maybe after Gango comes off, I will forget you." Sunmi says, "I don't think so. You will always be like this." Then Kang tells her about some important work and leaves from there. Then Sunyo is at a place. So Kang comes there and tells Sunyo, "You will call the dragon at this place." Sunyo asks, "Have you come to kill me?" Kang says, "No, I want you to call the dragon with Kang and I can kill it." After this, Kang goes to meet Kang and tells him, "If you want to become king, then I will help you in this. Just call the dragon, leave the rest to me." Then Kang is at home and tells Wang, "I am going to fight the dragon." Wang says, "So you have decided to die?" Wang says, "The dragon is very powerful. You will not be able to defeat it and will die." Kang says, "If one of us has to die, then I am ready to die." Hearing this, Wang gets sad and leaves from there. After this, Kang is with Sunmi, where Sunmi is talking about their future. Kang is looking at her. Sunmi then says, "I want to be with you always. But after Gango comes off, you might forget me and we might not meet again." Saying this, she starts crying. After this, both are in their respective homes. On the other side, Kang and Senyo plan about calling the dragon. The next day, Sunmi goes to the office. Kang had sent breakfast for her there. Seeing this, Sunmi remembers Kang and starts crying. Then, Kang goes to meet the shop lady and tells her, "I want to know if after Gango comes off, I will forget Sunmi's love or not. So tell me how to take off Gango." The shop lady says, "The love inside you has nullified the power of Gango, so you can take it off whenever you want." After this, Kang goes to a place where Sunmi is sitting outside. Kang sees her and takes off the Gango, but his love still does not end. Kang says, "Now she looks even prettier to me." Then Kang comes home and showing Wang the Gango, says, "My feelings are still the same. I still love Sunmi. Now, my feelings will never change." Saying this, he wears the Gango again. Wang says, "Why did you wear it again?" Sunmi wanted to know your real feelings. Kang says, "After everything is fine, I will tell her myself." Sunmi comes to meet Kang and tells him, "Whatever happens in the future, I will always love you." Saying this, she hugs and kisses him. So Kang also kisses her back. The next day, Kang goes to meet Ice God and tells him, "You lied to Sunmi. There is a spirit in a village hospital and we have to catch it." Saying this, "Take her with you and I will meet that dragon." Ice God says, "Okay." Kang also tells him, "If something happens to me, then you tell Sunmi I ran away." Now that Gango is also off, she will believe it. Then Ice God does so. He lies to Sunmi and takes her with him. Kang sees them leaving. Then the preparation for calling the dragon is done. Yoon tells Kang, "The dragon will enter the world through this door. You have to kill it before that." Kang says, "Okay." Meanwhile, Sunmi finds out that there is no spirit in the hospital. Then she starts to come back, but Ice God stops her there. Sunmi says, "There must be something, but Kang will not tell me anything. So I have to meet Subo Ri." So Ice God takes her to Subo Ri. Sunmi asks Subo Ri, so Subo Ri tells her everything. Then Subo Ri calls Kang to meet him. When Kang goes there, Subo Ri stops him right there and says, "Only Sam Jung can stop the dragon." Then Sanyo calls the dragon. So Ice God takes her with him. Sunmi stops the dragon from coming. So Kang hits her with a sword. As soon as Sam Jong's blood goes into the water, the dragon comes there. Seeing it, Kang gets scared and runs away from there. Meanwhile, Kang shouts, breaks the protection, and leaves from there. Then Sanyo calls the dragon, so Ice God takes her with him. Sunmi stops the dragon from coming, so Kang hits her with a sword. As soon as Samjang's blood goes into the water, the dragon comes there. Seeing it, Kang gets scared and runs away from there. Meanwhile, Kang shouts, breaks the protection, and leaves from there. The dragon is coming towards Sunmi, so Kang comes there and tries to stop it. Then he hits the dragon and takes Sunmi away from there, where Sunmi tells him, "After I die, gang, Go will end your feelings, and you can start a new life." Saying this, she dies. Kang cries a lot seeing her. Meanwhile, Ice God leaves Sanyo at a place and comes to fight the dragon. Then Kang takes the same sword that he had taken from Subori and goes to kill the dragon. Ice God cannot stop the dragon for long. Then Kang comes there and he fights the dragon and kills it. After this, we see Sanyo, whose body is deteriorating, but she is not dying. Now she can only die when someone burns her body. On the other side, Kang's future is also over now, because Wang has told everyone the whole truth about him. Kang's colleagues make him drink too much and knock him unconscious. When he wakes up, he finds himself locked in a coffin, and his colleagues throw him into the water. Then Kang goes to a place where he meets Sunmi. Actually, Suburi had given Sunmi the power to meet Kang one last time. Kang takes off his Gengo in front of Sunmi and says, "Look, my feelings are still the same. I still love you. Now my love is not because of Gengo." Sunmi becomes emotional hearing all this, so Kang hugs her. Then Sunmi says, "Now I have to go." So Kang gives her one of his red eyes and says, "Now, wherever you are, I will find you. Just remember my name." Sunmi says, "I will wait for you." Kang says, "We will definitely meet again." Then Kang says bye to her, and Sunmi disappears. Kang watches her go and starts crying. The next day, when Wang comes home, not seeing Kang's statue there, he asks Yoon where Kang is. Yoon says he packed all his things and went on a long trip. Wang says maybe he went far, that's why he took the statue too. Yoon says he has gone to the underworld to get Sunmi. Wang is shocked to hear this and says now he will create problems in the underworld too. After this, we see Kang, who is going somewhere in his car. With this, the drama ends here. If you like this drama, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to support us. See you again in another interesting drama.